right, y'all, this is Joseph. For those of you that don't know me, obviously we've been waiting on this number. This is the number for the unemployment for April 2nd. That number just came out, and it's about basically about 6.6 million people filed for unemployment in just the past week. Now, if we add that to last week, that's 10 million people total that filed for unemployment in a matter of 2 weeks, in a matter of 14 days. And I can tell you right now, I have a lot of people that I know that's been trying to file unemployment, but for some reason they're not able to do it because the websites are not functioning the way they're supposed to. Because I'm assuming because of the volume of people that's going on there trying to apply for it all at the same time, all right? So what does that mean for us, all right? So when you look at all the jobs that were created under Trump, basically all of that is basically being wiped out in a matter of 2 weeks, in a matter of a month, right? When you look at the stock market, the gains that the Dow and the different indexes in the stock market, with how high they went and how they done tumbled down, it's almost pretty much the whole 3 years, the whole 4 years that Trump been in office. All of that stuff is basically getting wiped out completely, almost as if we starting from zero. Now, with all that being said, I want to tell you something. I want to give you a caution here. Obviously, you're going to hear these numbers all day long on the news, but I want to tell you something, all right? Now, a lot of people that's filing for unemployment right now, I want you to understand that a lot of those people, most of them have been laid off, most of them have been furloughed, most of them have been let go, but with the assumption that they will come back into the workforce right after everything goes back to normal. So a lot of those companies are letting people go, are furloughing people just for now, and with a promise that they will hire them. Obviously, so after we get done with this ordeal, I don't know what the final number is going to be by the time this is all said and done. Maybe it's going to be 20 million people that file for unemployment. Maybe about 30 million people on unemployment. Maybe just 15. I don't know what the final number will be, what the final damage would be. But I want to reassure you about one thing, that a lot of those people that are filing for unemployment right now, after the next 4 months, most of those people will come back into the market when everything starts to go back to normal again, all right? So that's good. But I also want to caution you about this. There's going to be a lot of people that's in unemployment right now that is not going to be able to come back, because those businesses that let them go are not going to exist anymore. Because you can only hold on for so long. It's just like you. If you got your bills that you got to pay, after going a month and you're not getting no income, after going 2 months, you're not getting no income, after going 3 months and you're not getting no income, then you start losing things. You start losing your house. You start losing your place of rest. You start losing, you can't make your rent no more. You start getting evicted. Foreclosures start to happen. Businesses are not able to hold on because they don't have the capital to be able to hold on in this market, right? So there's a lot of people that's out of a job right now that's probably going to be out of a job when everything starts to recover. They're going to have to find something new. But there's a lot of people that we have right now that's in the unemployment line that's filing for unemployment. I want you to know that a lot of those people, maybe even half of the people that's filing, will come back into the market. They will have a job waiting for them once everything goes back to normal. But in the meanwhile, right? In the meanwhile, obviously for the next 4 months, I've been telling you about this for the next 4 months because of the stimulus package. They made sure that they put money in place for the people that was going into, maybe the money's not enough. Maybe the number that they thought was going to go into unemployment is not the number that's going into unemployment. Maybe they might have to go and come back with another package that's really fitting or sufficient for what we have going on right now. Maybe that's the case. But in the meanwhile, I want you to know that they did put things in place because they knew that this would happen. Once you start telling businesses they cannot open, obviously they would have to lay off their people. Obviously they would have to cut back. Obviously they would. Now, one of the good things that some of those companies are doing is that they making sure that they paying the health care, the insurance for those people that they laying off or furloughing, right? Because they know that those people will eventually come back. And because obviously with everything that's going on with this medical emergency that we have, you want to make sure that people have insurances if they need to go to the doctor, if they need to go to a hospital, that at least those bills will be able to be taken care of, as opposed to them having to take care of it themselves. So that's a good thing that a lot of the major companies are doing. Even though they furloughing their people, they making sure that they keep making that payment for them, as far as like their insurance policies and stuff like that. All of those stuff are still active, y'all. So what does that mean for us? That means we're getting ready to go into a recession, a hard recession, y'all. So this is not for me to put fear into you. This is not for me to scare anybody, but this is for you to understand the reality and the seriousness of what's going on, because of this virus that we have that's going around, and because of them shutting down the economy. What's getting ready to happen? You're starting to see hints of it, but we're not there yet, folks. It's only going to get worse from here. And you got to be able to brace yourself. You got to be able to put your seatbelt on. You got to be able to look at your bills. You got to be able to look at certain things to make sure you start to adjust yourself properly, because there's going to be a lot of hurting in a market like this. There's going to be a lot of hurting in an economy like that. Okay? So the sad thing about it is people are not just worrying about their health. They have to also worry about their economy, their personal economy. They have to worry about their finances and how they're going to weather the storm for the next 3 or 4 months. There's one thing that we're not talking about. Now, obviously, a lot of companies decided to furlough those people. A lot of companies decided to lay off people and let them go because of everything that's going on. But you have a lot of people that, instead of being laid off, instead of being furloughed, the company basically cut down their hours. I just read a story about somebody that was making a certain amount of hours a month. They basically cut it down to almost less than half of the amount. So they were making 80 hours every 2 weeks. Now they're making 40 hours or less. So that person is not able to file for unemployment. So the only money that's coming in that person's hands is basically the money that they're receiving from their paycheck from that employer. But obviously that's not going to be able to take care of their bills and everything they got going on. So they can't go to unemployment because the business did not let them go. So that's a dilemma. So that's a dilemma that Congress will probably have to address. Obviously, without a shadow of a doubt, I believe they're going to have to go back to Congress and look at the stimulus package that they passed and see what more can they do for people when it comes to people's rent, when it comes to people mortgages and stuff like that, to make sure they soften the blow as much as possible for people that might be feeling it already. Like I said, this is not for me to scare you. This is for me to give you the information that you need to know so you can adjust yourself properly, so you can make the proper changes that you need to make. God bless everybody. Jesus love you. Until next time. Once again, this is Joseph.